Om. Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. It was told in the fourth verse. We are in Katha Upanishad, sixth Valli. इह चेत शकद्बोधुम प्राक् शरीरस्य विस्रसः ततः सर्गेषु लोकेषु शरीरत्वाय कल्पते. It was told इह चेत शकद्बोधुम ashakadbodhum, meaning he who comes to know what प्राक् शरीरस्य, when before the body goes away, before the body dies, before the body is not able to express consciousness through it. It becomes an invalid equipment. Tata and iha chet. So he who comes to know that consciousness before the body goes away, tata sargeshu lokeshu shariratwaya kalpate, such a person, if that is not done, Tata sargeshu lokeshu shariratwaya kalpate. Meaning that if that is not done, what was told in the first line of the shloka, then such a person keeps going from loka to loka, loka to loka. See? Another meaning is, if you want to, we can look at that way. And that is, he who comes to know this, he pervades all the lokas. You can take it that way also. See? And that will be told in the next verse. But here the correct is Shariratwaya Kalpate. Correct will be the previous one. Now, having said that he takes a body again and again in various lokas, then it was told in the fifth verse, Yatha darshe tathatmani, Yatha swapne tatha pitruloke, Yatha psupariva dadrushe, Tatha gandharvaloke, Chhaya tapayoriva brahmaloke. Here the example of the mirror was taken, and here it was told that what is Brahman? Yatha darshe tatha atmani. That means the one who sees the self in the self. Meaning anywhere he sees self only. So will that be called as seeing? Question. But in language, that shortcoming is there. So, yatha darshe tathatmani, yatha swapne tatha pitruloke. So, one sees self in the self. How do you see the self in the self? The example of mirror was given. Now, think, if then afterwards it goes that Yatha swapne tatha pitruloke, in the swapna lok, the plane of existence of the dream, pitrulok, the plane of existence of the ancestors. Then it was told Gandharva lok, the plane of existence of all the musicians, and then Chaya tapayor eva brahmaloke, and the last one that was told was the plane of existence of the creator. So these four planes of existence, in other words, the various, from earth where we are to the level of the creator, which is in other texts represented as the kundalini, the six chakras, and the seventh one is the final consummation. Same way, these six are the various lokas, bhurvua swa tapa janamaha satyam being the brahmalok. And here he says that just as we see in the mirror. Okay, so this at the earth level, what is the problem? What is the issue? Why we are not able to? Yes, earth plane is very conducive for realization, no doubt about it. But what is the problem here? We identify too much with what we see, hear, touch, feel, taste. And due to that identification, we feel we are that. First identification, I am the body. Second identification, even though there is no body, you have got identified with your wife or mother or father or sister or friend, and I am a friend, I am a husband. And you suffer on account of those identifications. We have taken some form with which we have got identified with, and we start seeing ourselves through that or as that. And it's very difficult. And that form to which you have got identified, it's never the same. It's always changing. Think. It's continuously changing. And as a result, your emotions are also, your attachment also is continuously changing. And your raga, dvesha, your likes, dislikes, sometimes you like that, what you are attached to, and at times you don't like what you are attached to. And in this way, we keep buffeting from one object to the other, and there is no control of that. And as a result, it becomes very difficult on the earthly plane for one to go beyond the identifications. So this example was given for you and me. Second example taken is Pitruloke. In the Pitrulok, and this example where I am the consciousness and what I am seeing is inert. And I consider that inert to be conscious. And thus we have created this problem for ourselves. Remember, I give this example many times. If it has clicked, it's clicked. This is a laptop. I know this is a laptop. Last one is, this is not a laptop. This is a table. I know this is a table. I am not the table. This is how we interact with everything in this world. What is the interaction? There is duality. I am not that. The seer and seen are separate. If they are separate, then actually, if you separate them, you will question, then who am I? But when it comes to the body, this is the body, I know this is a body, and I am the body. One rule for the world and one rule for this body. Then it doesn't stop there. Anything that is associated with the body, I cannot live without my wife, I cannot live without my husband, I cannot live without my child, I cannot live without my parents, I cannot, and all that emotional entanglement on account of form. Rag, attachment, likes. It's very, very difficult to wean yourself away from all these attachments. For that, sadhana has to be done. It will not happen just like that. Just because you have understood, it will not happen. You have to do the hard yaka. You have to do the tapas. Just by wishing, it is not going to happen. See? This is called samsara, where we are entangled in what we are, all the stimuli, that is called samsara. And thus we are mentally connected with everything, and so many things in this creation, that and it is very, very, it requires humongous presence. It requires a humongous single-pointedness. You have to drop ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate. You have to drop everything to the exclusion of that one that you want to achieve, that one you want to be. You have to snap this mental attachment. उसके लिए सारी साधना है. But and when can that mental attachment when can it be snapped? When can it be snapped? Yesterday? Tomorrow? No. Here and now, while listening. The only place, the only opportunity to snap it is here and now. You cannot collect this information and like a monkey then chew on it afterwards. Khalo. One satsang after the other satsang. But it should not be now. The consequence is, now I will not go to satsang because Swamiji said we are like monkeys collecting all information. A wrong conclusion. In satsang, you are being reminded that you are consciousness. The world will not remind you. So in satsang, instead of being a monkey collecting information, you be the one who is so at one ment with the conscious principle that the mental attachment snaps while listening. What you are listening in a satsang, has your parents ever told you this? Has your wife ever told you this? Has your husband ever told you this? Have your children ever told you this? Have your friends ever talked about this? Even if we have talked, can we sustain the intensity and the depth of inquiry for 1.5 hours when we are with them? I'm not saying it is not possible, it is possible. But day in and day out, here it is. Be available and snap out of all the attachments. and you know how to snap out. Deep sleep. You know how to snap out. So this is this part. So the example of the mirror was taken, that when the mirror is clean, the reflection is very, very, very clear, and the Atman reflects itself perfectly. And when it is reflecting, you are looking at the reflection in the mirror, but your attention is on yourself. But when the mirror is dirty, then do you see yourself very clearly? You will, after having heard this example. A child will not. She goes there, and through the mist that is on the mirror, she looks someone with one eye, one hair standing up there, and he tries to go and see. Suddenly sees such a funny caricature, and that child gets scared and runs. Mummy, help! What did she see? Her attention was, your attention was on yourself in a clean mirror. Her attention was on the reflection, which was a distorted reflection, wasn't it? And what distorts the reflection? What distorts the reflection? There in that example, the mist. Here in inside us, what is that? All the memories, thoughts, emotions, convictions, they are distorting our vision of ourselves. And we are not able to see our reflection. See how it is. Just now one person came and he said, Swamiji, is this right? I said, what is not? What is right? He says, I went to my family, and their child wanted to ask me a question, and my relative told me, don't ask this fellow, he's good for nothing. I said, that fellow, but he wants to know. So he asked me again, and I answered him. When I answered him, the other relatives, they started saying, don't confuse him. So he felt affronted. I said, so is it right for a young boy, 18, 19-year-old, to speak so arrogantly to me? I said, when you were 18, 19-year-old, what were you doing? Drinking, gallivanting, never coming home on time, all night you will be outside in discotheques. No, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about this person. I said, well, he is also 19. He is at least inquiring. You never inquired at that age. So instead of taking it as an affrontation, you guide his mind. Every child is when you read a little bit, you feel that arrogance. That is good. That at least he's interested. You have to just give it a fan so that his attention goes in the right direction. Anyway. But this is what happens. No, but there is a way to ask the question. I said, so have you become a guru that he has to ask you a question in a proper manner? Have you opened a monastery? Have you opened a temple? Or have you suddenly you have become elderly? No, it's not that. But I said, then what is it then? If you are feeling hurt, then problem is not with the other people. Problem is with our own assessment of ourselves. And this assessment is the problem. This is all psychic attachments, mental attachments. And this is samsara. You're talking about this This is samsara. This person did that, that person did this, there's no end to it. And this problem is, as a seeker, our problem is that instead of seeing the Atman, instead of being attentive of the Atman, the self that we are attentive of the object. That's where the problem is. Right now, where is your attention? Answer truthfully to yourself. Is it on the person who's speaking and the words that are coming to you? Or is your attention on the one because of whom listening is taking place? If throughout the satsang for 1.5 hours you keep accessing, keep becoming attentive, every time some new information, again you go back to the words, but again pull yourself, while everything is going on, without reacting, without reaction, without shaking in your body or in your mind, without shaking, without trembling, without forcing, without efforts. Be aware of the one in whose presence this interaction is possible. That should be the name of the game. That should be the name of the game. And when we lose this plot, immediately the attention will go to the objects of the world. And where there is objectivity, there is ignorance, because you have moved away from the self. You have moved away from being the self. Can we move away from being the self? No. But as long as we are an individual, that's why either we are attentive of the world or we are attentive of the self. So when we are attentive of the objects of the world, we have fallen into the trap of, or we have become ignorant, we are guided by ignorance, because we are thinking that object is the self, this body is the self, this is what I am, this is the student, this is an intelligent student, because this person answers the question, that person never answers the question, dumb student. Again, the moment I come to the objectivity, and division begins, samsara begins. In the Pitruloka, the next one was Yatha Swapne Tatha Pitruloke. Pitruloke Yatha Swapna. Like in the dream is in the Pitrulok, in the plane of existence of the ancestors. What is, if you want to really think what it is like this dream. And what happens in there? There, because who will go to Pitrulok? Realized person will not go to the land of the plane of existence of ancestors, land of ancestors. Why will a realized person want to go there? Then who will go? The one who has not realized that he is the consciousness, he will go. Why? He was thinking about his parents. Or those who are already there. What is there? Is it possible for them to realize? See, realization is possible anywhere. But it's easy in the earthly plane, in the human being. But what is the problem in the Pitruloka? What is the problem in the dream? Because dream and ancestral plane of existence is being equated. So what is the similarity? They have a there in the dream plane or in the plane of ancestors, the notion of the self or the notion of the realization is very hazy. Is very hazy. Why is it hazy? Because the subject object are continuously changing very fast. In the dream, the idea of I am is very hazy. There also you are functioning just like a subject object. Duality is continued, but at a very fast pace. If it is difficult to catch the self and be the self in the waking plane, it is even more difficult in the dream plane. Why? The river of life is flowing very fast there. And you can't catch the water. You can't catch the constant. You may have an inkling of it, but you cannot catch it. And what is the what you call what is it that we know, or the data that we have about the dream? That when we wake up from the dream, our conclusion of the dream is it was a figment of imagination. This is our data which we have collected over ages. Over the ages. And only every now and then we we know that the objects in the dream are not real. So similarly, in the Pitruloka, in the plane of ancestors, things are not real. And therefore, in that, if a person has done some sadhana, and if today only someone said, since I have started chanting Om, I am getting more and more dreams. This happens. This happens, absolutely it happens. Why it happens? Because the vibration of the Om, your single pointedness of the Om, is generating a certain vibration, energy, and that energy and vibration is pushing out everything that is an obstacle between the goal that you want to reach and yourself. And what is that? All objectivity. How do you know the objectivity? By way of thoughts. So all thoughts will be pushed out. Yeah, I think last class or the class before I told you that when we go to sleep, the dream is nothing but unfinished thoughts of the waking. Mind by nature wants to become empty. We are not allowing it. It's very difficult to make it become empty in dream. Every now and then it might, by chance, it might become, but only for a short moment, and then again the thoughts come up. Just like in the waking also, between every two thoughts, the consciousness is expressing itself. But are we able to recognize it? Because the very next moment, next thought comes, some doubt comes. Was that me? Oh my God, where was I? Oh my God, what was that? Oh my God, it was very beautiful, ecstatic, wondrous. I must repeat it again. Gone. You have committed sabotage. It will never happen now. I don't say it will never, it may, but then the same situation you will be in again. Was it not? Was it real? Was it this? So it is just by chance that there is break in the, just like after a dream, there is a break. And what is that break? That you wake up, and when you wake up, what do you say? It was a dream, wasn't it? But very rare. Sorry, this part is rare. Is it possible for you to wake up in the dream itself? There are people, some people, it might have happened, but very difficult. Incapable of recognizing it at that time, even if it has happened. Just like it is, if you take that dream as a dream, waking is also a dream. And here also, occasionally, the consciousness is presenting itself. Do we have the acumen, the poise, the stamina, the abidance, the clarity to recognize that I am that? It's happening so many times during the day. How many times we have told you that if you can remain awake in deep sleep, you are one with yourself. How many of you have practiced that and achieved it? If it is that easy, then do it. All you have to do is stay awake one night. And not imagine. Be awake to deep sleep. Not be awake to the darkness. No, then nothing is going to happen. Be awake to the deep sleep. Deep sleep is mind without any projection. Unmanifest mind. Be awake to it. As much as it is difficult in the waking, even more so it is in the dream. And therefore it was equated to the Pitruloka was equated to the dream, that it is like this. And then came the Yathapsu Pariva Dadrushe Tatha Gandharva Loke. Now the third taken is Gandharva Lok. Gandharva Lok is the world of the musicians. Yes, person can become single pointed anywhere. You can become single pointed through music, you can become single pointed through painting, you can become single pointed through archery, you can become single pointed through breath, you can single pointed through chanting the mantra. Anything you can choose. In transcendental meditation, many decades ago, I went in Melbourne, early years, just I had arrived to Australia, and just to explore, experiment. So I went there. They said, your mantra is chair. Keep chanting chair, 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 chair. मैंने कहा बेवकूफ़ बना रहे मेरे को. I ran away from there. Because traditionally, Om or some mantra, here you are giving me chair. So it didn't work for me. So in the world of Gandharvas, the Atman, the self, is visible in the same way as it is in our body, as our body is seen reflected. And how it is seen reflected? Seen reflected in a shaky water. Go and stand on a beach someday. The waves are coming one after the other, just lapping at your feet. The sun is behind you, the shadow is there, or your not shadow, reflection is there. but it's never stable. You are absolutely stable. You are still, you are not moving, but your reflection is not stable. It's moving. Has this question ever come to your mind? How come I am so still and my reflection is not still? It's on account of the medium of reflection. Understand? It's on account of the medium of reflection. The object, the subject and the object, what do you call, when we are looking at our reflection in the waters, moving waters, we are not so attached to that reflection. We are not so attached. Neither we have like for that reflection, neither we have dislike for that reflection. Neither we are attached nor we are detached. ठीक है. We are talking about in Gandharva Loka, the world of musicians, or where these celestial musicians are. And therefore, here, because they are not involved with each other so much, with the objects, and because they are not so involved with the objects, as a result, there is no attachment or no, what you call, ragadvesh. There is no like towards the object or the person, or dislike towards the object or the person. Therefore, they are fairly, untouched by the objectivity. And therefore, awakening is possible there. And in this way, they can become awake to their consciousness. They can. But do they? That's a different question. Why? What are they? Where do they get lost? They get lost in the music. Great music, because it's a world of music. Gandharvas are musicians. Gandharvas are where the Apsaras are, each one an expert in the instrument they have mastered. Now we come, now we come to the Brahmalok. And what is Brahmalok? Now this is what? This is not Brahman. This is Brahmalok. Brahmalok is the world of the Creator. The world of the Creator is the blissful world. What is this blissful world? Where duality is absent. Then how is the world of duality expressing? The moment we say the world of the Creator, immediately your attention goes to the Creator, who is spitting out all the objects of the world. It's not that way. Brahmaji is how? What is the lok of Brahma? Another word for it? Tell me, because we have taught you that before.
Satyalok.
Satyalok. Another way, another word, two more words. The world is world is called Satyalok. Lok means plane of existence. And the consciousness there is the Brahmic consciousness. What is another word for it? Hiranyagarbha. Another word for it. Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva means the greater than the greatest. Hiranyagarbha means the golden womb. And what is this golden womb? Everything is manifest in its causal form, unmanifest form. The whole creation is present in the unmanifest form. No duality, no multiplicity. Why? No mind. Then what is there? There's only the light of consciousness. There's only light of consciousness. For duality to express, there should be mind, isn't it? So what is this world we are seeing? This is after many steps. So that plane of existence where the Creator is, it is a plane where only the light of consciousness is there. And no mind. Where else do you get no mind? Where else in your experience you get no mind?
Deep sleep.
Yes, in deep sleep. What happens to your all the thoughts and all the past and all the future? Everything that you know and relate to, the subjectivity and the personalities and the roles and the people that you are related to, what happens to all of them? The entire world with the universe, where does it go in deep sleep?
Gets unmanifested.
Gets unmanifested. It goes back to the seed form. The potential for it to come out is again there, but it has not become manifest yet. That is your deep sleep state. And what else do you call the deep sleep state?
Causal.
Causal state. Another word? What sheath do you call it? Bliss sheath.
Anandamaya.
Anandamaya kosha. So when there is no duality, there is only bliss. That is why in deep sleep we enjoy and we rejuvenate and come back out. So what would be the state of the Creator? He is that consciousness who is of the nature of light, but when every now and then between two thoughts, there is no thought, everything is in causal state. Do you see yourself as the nature of light, or what happened? Where are the thoughts gone? Or we sit in meditation, either we go to sleep or if we are aware. What are we? Are we aware of the void? Are we aware of the darkness? Are we aware of the emptiness? But have we become that we are of the nature of light at that moment? Because we are looking outwards and trying to think that there is nothing there. How can there be nothing? But that is the place. That is the moment. Not to imagine nothingness. Instead, be the consciousness. For that, little bit of training is required. That will come in the next few verses. But here the teacher is, Yamaraj is telling that what happens in different lokas. If you do not realize it in the human plane, then other planes, yes, it is, but it's very difficult because the things are changing very fast there. And in Brahma Loka, yes, it is possible. Here he says that in the Brahma Loka, here he says what? Chhaya tapayoriva Brahma Loke. It is as clear as day and night. What is as clear as day and night? That just like on a white board, when you write with the black pen, it is crystal clear, isn't it? It doesn't mean that day and night are very clear there. What is crystal clear? The self is crystal clear because there is no obstruction. There is nothing there is no duality. Therefore, it is crystal clear. Last time we saw the Shankar Bhashya. Today a little bit more. See? If you want to use the word darkness, if you want to use the word, when he says Chhaya tapayoreva, how much importance do you give to your shadow? Zero value, isn't it? Then why do you give importance to the emptiness, which is the shadow of the self? Why don't you be the self? When everything becomes unmanifest, rather than saying there is nothing, you be. You be the presence. You be the light of consciousness. This Brahmaji is very clear. This Brahmaji is in the Satyalok. He is very clear. He is the light of consciousness. He is not the darkness. He is not the emptiness. He is not the absence. He is the light of consciousness. Because there the mind has collapsed. In Satyalok, the mind is collapsed. Just like in deep sleep, all your memories have collapsed. Including body identification has collapsed. It has gone back into the unmanifest seed of memory. Seed means memory. So in the Brahmalok, in that unmanifest creation, Brahmaji, he is seeing himself very clearly that he is the consciousness, that he is the light of consciousness. And that creation can be manifest. Okay, here we'll just take it as unmanifest. I'm going on unmanifest. But the nature of creation is what? Sometimes manifest, sometimes unmanifest. So even if the manifestation happens, Brahmaji is not affected by the creation because there is no attachment, there is no like and dislike towards anything that has manifested or unmanifested. There is no attraction nor there is any repulsion. We have attraction and repulsion. Even to the words that are coming to us through the satsang, sometimes we have attraction and repulsion. And we conclude within our mind. Therefore, this Jiva Srishti, where we have become attached, we are getting attracted, our consciousness is getting attracted to objects, sometimes getting repelled by other objects, and continuously moving in and out of these attractions and repulsions. Watch your life, you will come to understand. This is called Jiva Srishti, the world of the individual. And everything in this world, unlike Brahmaji, who is not attracted or repulsed by anything in the creation, by presence or absence, the Jiva, the individual, he is attracted and he is repulsed. And what is the reason that he is attracted and repulsed? It is because of what the glasses that he is seeing. Just like if I wear dark glasses, I'll see a dark world. I become afraid. I see a blue glasses, I see a blue world. Oh, this is amazing. Then I wear yellow glasses and I see a yellow world. Similarly, our mind is having for whatever reasons, it has collected this data that of emotions, of convictions, and through those filters, it is looking at the world and divides the world into likes and dislikes, and then gets troubled. And what does Bhagavad Gita tell you? Samatvam yoga uchyate, remain equanimous, remain equanimous. Equanimous meaning what? Don't get attracted by anything, don't get repelled by anything. Sukha dukkha samay kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yuddhasva na shochati na kankshati. In joys don't get excited, in sorrows don't get depressed. In victory don't get excited, in defeat don't get depressed. In gain don't get excited, in loss don't get depressed. This is the war. The war is not to defeat the bad and be the victorious one. No, the war is not to be disturbed by the victory or the defeat. The war is not to be influenced by gain or loss, by joy or sorrow, by day, by heat or cold, by hunger or thirst. World is full of duality. Not to be disturbed is equanimity. This is the tapasya. Ahamapetakam nijavibhanakam mahadidam tapo ravanavagiyam. In Upadeshsar it comes. Mahadidam tapo. What is the greatest austerity? What is the greatest austerity? To inquire without ego. To inquire without ego. Then alone the self will reveal. Ahamapetakam. destruction of the ego, dissolution of the ego, ahamapetakam, nijavibhanakam, leads to revelation of the self. See? So we continuously color all the objects. For me, laptop is the same. I like my laptop. Why? It is Apple. And the other person says, no, I like my laptop because Microsoft. A laptop is a laptop. I don't like that laptop. I like this laptop. What colors I am, what is that which is making me behave in this particular manner? So space, time, objectivity, emotions, distance, our mental condition, all these different factors, then there are many more combined together to create the perceptual process for us. But in Brahmaloka, all this is absent. There are no colors. There's only light. There are no colors. Colors of emotion, colors of whatever. There's only one light. It has not bifurcated into the Vibgayari colors. We take, one master says, we take our normal perception, the Shabda, Artha, Jnana, and what is that? Shabda means the sound, the speech, Artha is the meaning, and the knowledge, speech and meaning. And there is a mix-up of this according to the sage Patanjali. And whenever we take anything, any name for that matter, if I say any person's name, in those who are listening, there will be a sensation, there will be that you will feel something. Why did he take my name? Another person, oh, he remembered me, that I am there. Something will go through. Some sensation will be there, and that sensation, in response to the sound that is coming to you, will create a idea. It will create a picture in that person's mind. I'll just say one word: your daughter. Katak, the picture will come in your mind. If you are not married and have no children, nothing will come. But for others it will. If I say a table, immediately some form of table will come which has grabbed your imagination. Chandelier, immediately the mind will, at a speed of light, it will sort out, and some chandelier that it likes, it will bring out. One girl, she was coming, we are going for walks and everything. Young means she was 30, 29, 30. And the parents were showing so many proposals, and used to be war every day at home. Every proposal, 18 days war after every proposal was presented to her. Mahabharata every day, twice a month. And then one day the mother said, Swamiji, why don't you tell her? I said, okay, let's go for a walk. And I said, tell me what type of a guy you want. And I recorded it while she was walking with me. And then I played it back to her. She said, Swami, did I say that? I said, yeah. She said, then I will never get married because I got so many demands. See, so she herself came to that conclusion that her demands, because she was going on in her mind, but the moment I presented it, I recorded it, she didn't know that, I recorded it and hit replay. And she came to her own conclusion, then I'll remain spinster all my life. Very idealistic. I want the husband to be this way, that way, that way. And now, 2-3 days ago, she calls me from London. Swamiji, I found someone. I said, okay. Would you like to meet him? I said, yes. So I met him on the phone. And then yesterday again she called. Swamiji, he went away, went back to America. And you know what, Swamiji? I said, what? He said, I took a back step. Everything is okay. I said, what do you mean? She reminded me of the list. She says, everything, all that I wanted, it doesn't matter anymore. I said, good, if it doesn't matter. I'm ready to compromise. I said, good. If you had listened to your parents 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been better. See? Whatever we hear, when parents used to say to her, this is a proposal that has come, that word proposal will trigger some emotions, sensations, and immediately one idea comes into her mind. And either she reacts, gets angry, whatever. We all do it. So what is the problem with Jiva Srishti and Brahma Srishti? In the Brahma Loka, the Satya Lok, the Creator's abode and our abode, what is the difference? There is no attraction and repulsion there. So he sees everything as it is. And we don't see any object as it is. Then how do we see it? We see it through the colors through various colors of emotions, of shortcomings, of expectation, of guilt, of regret, of attachment, of like, of dislike. You drop that. Stop labeling anything. Just take an object as an object. Take a person as a person. With no preconceived ideas. Preconceived ideas means mind. No preconceived ideas, equanimous. See? So we look at the objects and we perceive them with what idea we have about that particular object. We don't see the object for what it is. This is Jiva Srishti. The day you drop it, you are in Brahmalok. Therefore, Brahmaji is, how is Brahmaji saying, now, okay, now creation, now you pop out, now you pop out, now you pop out, now you don't, no, he's not doing it. He's not putting any efforts in creation. Creation is happening. Are you putting any efforts in growing? It is happening. Are you putting any efforts in breathing? No, it is happening. Are you putting any efforts in waking, dreaming, or sleeping? They are also happening. Are you, and all, are you putting efforts in day or night? No, it is happening. Seasons, they are happening. Everything in the creation is happening. But what is individual involved in his life? Is he living at the happening level, or is he living at the doing level? This is the difference between Brahma Lok and Jiva Lok. We are putting efforts either to survive or to realize. And also at the worldly level, at the individual worldly level, we are seeing the world through the colors of our mind. In the Brahma Loka, the creator, the light of consciousness is seeing everything as it is. There are no colors, there is only one light. That is the light of consciousness. For the light to divide itself into 7 colors or different colors, you need a medium, you need a prism. There is no mind there to break it up into different emotions or convictions or colors. Therefore, it is intuitive. So, Brahmaji's creation is intuitive. So this way, we can see, if you hear some people, those who have practiced Kundalini, etc., many of them. You go to YouTube, you will see many of them. Some of them say, oh, I had out of body experience and I have traveled to the Naga Loka, I have traveled to the horse Loka, I have traveled to the fish Loka, the world of the fish, the world of the snakes, the world of the horses, the world of the mammoths. I have traveled to the past, I have traveled to the future, I have traveled to various galaxies. Understand, creation is infinite. Creation is infinite. It's continuously expanding. Nobody knows where its end is. But you can bring about its end. The moment you stop giving it value and importance, the moment you stop judging the objects in the creation, the moment you stop getting attracted or repulsed by the creation, the moment you remain equanimous, the creation concludes. That's all we have to do. Yes, that's all we have to do. So there are we have given you only how many the the earthly plane, the dream plane, the ancestral plane, the musician's plane of existence, and the Brahma Lok, the plane of existence of the creator. Only 5 were taken. Don't think there are only 5. There are infinite number of worlds. Infinite. As many you can imagine, many more are there. There's no end to it. You can never say that I have visited all the worlds. Impossible. But there is one way. And that way is be yourself, be the self. Self is infinite, self is complete, self is all pervasive, self is all knowledge. And the next verse that was there, no, in this only. So some masters say that realizing by the when once one is realized, that realization of the self is equal to accessibility to any aspect of this creation. Because you are everywhere. See? Now, the path. How do we upgrade ourselves if we are looking? See, the truth was told before. At the world, at the relative level, the maximum we can go up to is the cosmic being, the Brahmaloka, the Hiranyagarbha. How do we raise ourselves from where we are to that? Towards that, we have done the bhashya of verse 5, isn't it? Yeah. कथमसौ बोधव्यः किं वा तदवबोधे प्रयोजनम इति उच्यते. How we must come to know that Atma or the self, and what is the reason that we must come to know that self? What is the way to come to know? Prayojan means what is the way to come to know that self? On this, now the next verse is told, and it says, where are we? Indriyanam pruthak bhavam, Indriyanam pruthak bhavam, Udayastamayau chayata, Udayastamayau chayata, Pruthak utpadyamananam, Pruthak utpadyamananam, Matva dhiro na shochati, Matva dhiro na shochati. Together. Indriyanam pruthak bhavam, Udayastamayau chayata, Pruthak utpadyamananam, Matva dhiro na shochati. Here he says that Indriyanam pruthak bhavam. Indriya means the senses. Indriyanam, many senses. Pruthak bhavam, he who sees himself as separate from the senses. Some people not only take these five senses as the five senses, but also the sixth sense called the mind. So he who sees himself pruthak bhavam, bhav is in his heart, not the bleeding heart. In his heart, he who has this bhav that I am the presence, in whose presence the mind is functioning, the senses are functioning, the thoughts are coming and going, the seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting is going and happening or not happening. Pratak bhavam udayastamayau cha yata. And what is udaya? Udaya asta. What is udaya? Udaya is rising. Asta is setting. So just like the sun rises and sun sets, similarly, these senses and the mind also, it rises. In waking, it rises. In deep sleep, it sets. Similarly, right now, my eyes are open, rising, udaya, eyes closed, asta. The world is asta for it. Light is not going passing through. The vision has nothing to illuminate for the light. So there is darkness. Udaya asta mayau cha yata. So he who is able to separate pruthak bhavam, is able to separate from the indriyas, from the senses, rising and setting of the senses. Then it says pruthak utpadyamananam. Pruthak is again separately utpadyamananam, being produced. That which is utpatti. Utpatti means that which is getting created, that which is getting produced. Matva dhiro na shochati. So the what is getting produced? The rising and the setting of the senses is getting produced. And with the rising and setting, the world gets produced. Then the world gets absorbed. Then again it gets produced. Then again it gets absorbed. The one who sees himself separate from this whole phenomena is the wise one. Matva dhiro na shochati. They do not give too much importance to this rising and setting. They do not give importance to the indriyas, to the senses which are rising and setting, because the rising and setting is the nature of the senses. You cannot stop it permanently. You cannot stop the breath permanently. You can do kumbha, but you cannot stop the breath permanently. You can close your eyes for some time, maybe a longer time in deep sleep, but eventually you'll have to wake up. You can go into samadhi for a long period of time, but eventually you'll have to come out. You can dull your mind for a period of time, but eventually you'll have to come back out. The mind will become activated again. That is the nature of the senses plus mind. That is the nature. Who are you? Who is unattached to this nature? Pruthak bhavam. And such a person, no shochati, he does not grieve for the world which is illumined. That which is coming and going, he does not grieve. So, here he says, we'll do the bhashya next week, so it is complete in one class. We'll just conclude here, otherwise doing half the bhashya now and half the bhashya next class, एक बारी में पूरा हो जाएगा. See the pruthak bhav of indriyas, the different senses. What is the nature of the senses? Are they constant? They are continuously changing. Are they the reality? No, they have a cause. What is the cause of one sense called smell? What is the cause? I'm asking. What is the cause of smell? Don't say body odor. What is the cause of smell?
Earth is it, Swamiji?
Huh?
Earth?
Earth.
Prithvi, earth.
Good, good. The cause of smell is the earth element. The cause of taste is the water element. The cause of vision is the fire element. The cause of touch, feeling at the skin level, is the air element. And the cause of sound is the space element.
Space.
What is the cause of self? No cause. So one is causeless cause, and indriyas, including the mind, all of them have a cause. Especially these panchendriyas, they have a cause. So recognize that you are different from them. They are continuously changing, you are not changing. All the senses need an object. The smell needs an object, only then it can smell. The tongue needs something separate to the tongue, only then it can taste. The eyes need something to see, only then they can see. The skin needs some feeling, cloth, rough or smooth or silky, in order to feel. The ears need sound in order to hear. Does self need something else to be? Self doesn't need anyone. Self doesn't need anything in order to know itself. It is self-knowing. In this manner, contemplate. This is just a teaser. We'll build it up in our next class with the bhashya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.